Their mouths had dried up, propitiating that nectar. Their bodies had crumbled at the altar of that one word, Ganga. Now Dilip's son Bhagirath was attempting to carry out the task. Sagara had tried. His grandson Anshuman had tried. Anshuman's son Dilip had tried. 3 generations of Suryavanshis had laid down their lives chanting that name. 3 descendants of that orb of fire had perished invoking that stream of water. Their mouths had dried up propitiating that nectar. Bhagirath had been meditating for 1,000 years. His body was static, but his mind was in relentless motion, uttering incantations with every heartbeat as if his heart would stop if he did. Like his forefathers, he too did not know if the undertaking would succeed, if the river would deign to descend. But he was doing it because it had to be done, the sole purpose of his birth, the only quest of his clan. He quivered. Drops of water had suddenly landed on his skin. Was she there? Ganga? Open your eyes, Bhagirath. He looked. Brahma was sprinkling his face. The grit of your dynasty has won us all. Your ancestors never gave up, and it culminates with you now. It's time. The inevitable must happen. Bhagirath could hear a sound as if a stream was suddenly rippling by him. Ganga was approaching, pure, hallowed, untouched, whiter than the whitest, a flood of benevolence that the earth would clasp and never let go. Ganga, the Creator addressed her. The words of Saraswati must come true now. You shall descend to Bhuloka, liberate not only the sons of Sagara, but every mortal who sins. There shall be multitudes, and they will keep flocking to your shore, immersing themselves in your womb as your water encase them. Thus nourished, they shall be birthed anew, rinsed and restored, absorbed of everything. They shall also bring their dead to you, and you shall offer them salvation. But I am pristine, the river said. Will my waters not get tainted when I cleanse so many? Will those sins that I absorb not gather inside me and make me sinner too? No, Ganga, you are Vishnupadi, sanctified by the foot of Vishnu. You shall remain the purest even when you touch the vilest, even when you drink their chaos and make them whole again. They await you, mother. Bhagirath fell at her feet, 60,000 of them, still shrieking, still burning. That fire refuses to die. Your water alone will wash away their pain. I can't. Brahma glared at her. This is your charge, Ganga. How can you refuse? Your descent shall push new life into Bhuloka's veins. It will grind her to dust. What do you mean? When I descend from the heaven, my pace will be torrential. Falling from such a height, my impact will be devastating. My waters will crash over Bhuloka and tear her asunder, split her right through the axis. Brahma and Bhagirath stood silent. Their minds were imagining that horror, wondering if Ganga was deliberately painting that picture to avoid entry into earth. But she spoke again. There is only one solution. Mahadev. Mahadev? He alone can break my fall, sustain the ferocity of my volume. If he agrees, I shall precipitate on his head and flow into Bhuloka. Instructed by the Creator, Bhagirath now began appeasing Shiva. When he finally manifested, he smiled, hearing the king's plea. I took the venom that flowed from below. I can surely take this nectar that flows from above. The earth washed as Shiva now stood on the edge of Kailash, opened the knot of his matted hair and let the tresses fan out like a giant receptacle. The firmament was rumbling, shuddering as if nearing orgasm. The water exploded. Squirted by the sky, Ganga plunged ruthlessly, a wave of white foam like liquid lightning. Her acceleration was multiplying 100 times as she came closer. closer, closer, cascading faster, gathering kinesis. That enormous reservoir was emptying all of herself. As she closed on the destroyer's head, the universe quaked. She made an impact. That deluge was bouncing high like a titanic wave crashing against a mountain, splitting into a million drops, many tributaries. Spilling over, she now found herself chained by Shiva's locks. Quelled on all sides, the more water was pouring from above, the more it was getting enmeshed below. Soon the stream ceased. Ganga no longer existed in heaven. All of her was now captive inside the labyrinth of Shiva's hair, sourced from Brahma, beatified by Vishnu, now cradled by Shiva. The man whose forefather had been fed poison in the womb had compelled her. The god who had swallowed poison for Brahman had contained her. The river that would now suck poison from the souls of men was calling Shiva by a new name. I bow before you, O Gangadhar. Pray, release me so I may carry out my bidding. Bhagirath wept as he saw Ganga liberating his ancestors, wept again when she told him that she would now be called Bhagirathi.